10 creepy facts that you didn't know about the royal family. Prince Philip's sisters were German supporters. Prince Philip's sisters were each married to German princes, and eventually they developed friendships and ties with Adolf German supporters. His sister Cecile and her husband joined the party, and his sister Sophie married a director of the Third Reich's Ministry of Air Forces. Sophie even named one of her children Karl Adolf. Queen Elizabeth carried her own blood wherever she went. The Queen traveled all over the world and sometimes found herself in environments where access to blood was difficult to attain. Well, the solution? She and her doctors brought along the Queen's own blood, just in case she needed it. Clever. Weird, but clever nonetheless. King George V hid away his youngest son. Prince John was the youngest son of King George V, the Queen's grandfather. The young boy reportedly suffered from epilepsy, and the royal family developed a tactic to cope by hiding the child away from the public view. I don't see how that helped, but anyway. Royal biographer Christopher Wilson had noted that some of the family trees completely leave out Prince John's name in general. The Queen could say no to anyone's marriage. The Royal Marriage Act of 1772 was passed because King George III was angry when his brother, Prince Harry, wanted to marry Anne Horton. The act gives the monarch the power to veto any royal marriage that they desire to. In 2013, the Succession to the Crown Act refined the rule to state that the monarch had no say about marriages for royals who are outside the first 6 in line for the throne, but had a say to the others. Princess Diana's letter. Paul, one of Diana's former butlers, said that the princess predicted her own passing in a car crash. Apparently, she was so scared 10 months before her passing that she wrote a letter to Paul saying that there was a plot made by a member of the royal family and that her car brakes would be tampered with and she would suffer serious head injuries. And all of this would be so that the Prince of Wales could marry again. The letter she wrote read, "I am sitting here at my desk today in October, longing for someone to hug me and encourage me to keep strong and hold my head high. This particular phase in my life is the most dangerous. My husband is planning an accident in my car. Brake failure and serious head injury in order to make the path clear for him to marry Tiggy. Camilla is nothing but a decoy." Queen Elizabeth sends secret messages with her purse. The Queen was always photographed with a handbag, which wasn't too much of a surprise. Like the rest of us, she probably had things she needed to carry around. But unlike the rest of us, it turns out Queen Elizabeth used her purses to send secret messages to her staff. If the Queen needs to get out of a conversation, she would very subtly shift her purse from the left arm to the right arm. As royal historian Hugh Vickers told People, the move is a signal that Elizabeth is done. It would be very worrying if you were talking to the Queen and saw a handbag move from one hand to the other. It would be done very nicely. Someone would come along and say, "Sir, the Archbishop of Canterbury would very much like to meet you." The royals have specific chores done for them. Growing up in a palace, the royals have become used to other people doing things for them. This reportedly includes Prince Charles having his shoelaces ironed every morning, and the Queen would have someone else break in her shoes for her. Some of you think, oh, they must be so lucky, but I honestly just think that's weird. Having someone else breaking your own shoes for you? Oh, and another one, Prince Philip never put toothpaste on his own toothbrush. He always had a staff member do it for him. The Queen's secret cousins. In 2011, a documentary aired on the British network Channel 4. It was called The Queen's Hidden Cousins and revealed a scandal that had avoided the public eye for decades. In the 1940s, mental disabilities weren't understood like they are today. The royal family viewed it as an embarrassment, and 2 of the Queen's first cousins, Nerissa and Catherine Bowes-Loyne, became victims. Nieces of the Queen's mother, the 2 girls were forced into a mental institution in 1941 and remained in care there for the rest of their lives, cut off from the royals forever. In the documentary, nurses who oversaw them stated that no members of the family ever came to visit the 2 sisters, who were unable to articulate speech but had great mischievous spirits. At christenings, they eat 7-year-old cake. At Prince Louis's christening, held on July 9th, 2018 at St. James's Palace in London, the royal family served guests a cake from 7 years ago. The treat may sound stale, but it's actually quite a sweet British custom. The fruitcake served is a saved tear from Prince William and the Duchess of Kate's 2011 wedding cake, and has been laced with brandy to last many years. The sentimental confection was also served at little Louis's siblings, Prince George and Princess Charlotte's christening, though it probably tasted a bit fresher at their ceremonies. They aren't allowed to play Monopoly. Back in 2008, Prince Andrew was presented with a board game Monopoly. The gift giver likely didn't anticipate the royals' odd response to the kind gesture. "We're not allowed to play Monopoly at home," Prince Andrew disclosed. Why, you may ask? Well, apparently it gets too vicious, which is kind of creepy to think what happened in the past to have made it not be allowed at all. And that was the 10 creepy facts you didn't know about the royal family. Let us know what you thought about this video in the comments below, and we will see you next time.